I want to talk to you today about some things that you never want to say to a woman ever. And what some of these things are going to be maybe something you won't say anytime. Some of these are going to be a little bit more specific to certain situations that you might be in. So we're just going to cover everything here. And it's going to help you a lot because you don't want to be saying the wrong thing to turn a woman off, right? It's like sometimes you can say one thing that will just completely turn her off, and then boom, you lose a possible girl that you could be getting a number from, hooking up with, getting into a relationship with. You never know. Also, some things I'll be saying today will also help when you get into a relationship, okay? All this, by the way, comes from personal experience. This comes from just reactions that I've seen. So I've made some mistakes, and I will admit them today. This has also come from women that I've talked to over the years and things that they've said to me that have been complete turnoffs. So these are just things that you just want to make sure you avoid. This kind of goes into the idea of female psychology. And I break down female psychology, what women want, what actually attracts a woman inside of my Hooked program. I think you should check that out if you don't have it already. And also, if you want to know, like, does this really work? Tripp talks about this Hooked program all the time. Yes, it works. If you want some awesome testimonials, you go to getherhooked.com. You can watch that video there and then go over to the order form page and you can just scroll down and see all the people who have gotten amazing results with it. Thousands of guys have already gotten it. You should too. I talk about it a lot because it works and it's awesome. And it's unlike my YouTube videos. Like, I sit here and I give you random information, but in the Hooked program, it's kind of like organizing everything. So a lot of the value in it is going, okay, how do I begin? Where do I begin? And how do I take this, from step A to step Z instead of getting random information like this? So the YouTube videos help. Courses, full courses, help a lot more. Check it out. Put a link down below. But let's get into the 7 things you never ever want to say to a woman. Number 1, this is in no particular order, but I do find this one to be a huge one. Never say anything along the lines of, hey, is it cool if I, or any kind of question that's asking permission, okay? This is besides sex, of course, where you should get consent, but anything else, never ask a woman for permission for something that you want to do. I find that I talk to guys and they text girls and say, hey, is it cool if I do this? This happens a lot in relationships. This happens also just in general, the beginning of dating and courtship. Like, any kind of question asking permission, like, is it cool if I do this? Like, yeah, it's cool. Do what you want to do. A woman doesn't want to give you permission, and you don't want to set up any kind of standard in a relationship or dating relationship where you have to ask permission of anything, okay? So make sure anything permission related, you're not going to do that. Here's another one. This is a very specific one to a specific point in time. Never say to a woman, I'm only dating you, okay? Never say that. Except for when, and you're not going to say that sentence, you'll say something different, but you might say that at the time when you are getting into a relationship with a woman. Imagine you've been dating 3, 4, 5 months and she's like, are you, dating anyone? You say, oh, I'm only dating you. And then it turns into a relationship. In the beginning though, never say that or offer that information that I'm only dating you. It's a little bit creepy and obsessive. It's like, oh, okay, we've been only dating like 3 or 4 dates. Why are you saying this to me? Girls know, especially nowadays, that you're going to be dating other women. And they're actually attracted to you if you're dating other women because it shows that other women want you. So if a woman ever says, and she might on a 2nd, 3rd date, or 5th or 6th, whatever, are you dating anyone else? Even then, don't say I'm only dating you, because this is kind of you admitting that you're only focusing on her, which I believe that you shouldn't be. Okay, so you might say something along the lines of, at this moment, you are not the only woman that I'm dating. Even if it's not true, you want to say this because it kind of is true, because you're keeping your options open and you know that you would be dating someone else, okay? So do not zero in on one woman and say that until you actually know that this is going to be someone that's going to be your girlfriend, okay? All right, let's go to the 3rd one. The 3rd one is do not comment on her appearance or body at all. So we don't want to compliment her because compliments are fake anyways, and you're just saying it to give her validation so that she can feel good because you said something. So most of the time they're not real anyway. Also, you can just get into trouble here. Like, never say anything, even if it's a criticism. Any criticism on her body, just stay away from all of it. When in doubt, don't comment on her body or her appearance. Even if she asks you, be very careful, okay? Because if you say anything even remotely negative, she's going to remember it, and the wrath will come down on you, especially in relationships. And I've been in this before. So just be careful. Stay vague with anything that a woman says. If in doubt, if a woman asks you specifically, like, what do you think of this? Just, it's awesome. It's great. Vague and somewhat positive, and that's it. Never ask her if she's dating anyone else. There's no exception to this one. Never ask her ever if she's dating anyone else, ever. There's nothing to do with that information, okay? You might think, well, don't I want to ask that when I get into a relationship with her? Yes, but you're not going to ask that question because that comes off just a little needy and also potentially jealous, which are very unattractive traits. So we don't want to ask her if she's dating anyone else, especially if you're just bringing it up to bring it up, right? Just don't care about any of that. The second you do that, you come off low value. If you want to get into a relationship where you're asking someone to be your girlfriend, you're going to say, hey, I just want to let you know that I don't want to see anyone else and I want to see you. And I think that we should be in something where we're committed or we're monogamous. You're going to say it something like that in those terms instead of, are you dating anyone else? Don't ask her if she's dating anyone else. At this point, you should never care. Keep it to yourself. Here's one. I know this is the fifth one, and I'm going to say a few things here, but they all kind of tie in together. It's kind of the same idea. So never say that she looks bored, she looks tired, or that she should smile more. I'll say that again. She looks bored, she looks tired, or she should smile more. This is more of like when you're going to approach a woman. I hear this from women all the time, and I've made this mistake before. I've said this to women, like, you look bored. Women don't want to hear that when you go and approach them, okay? And no, this is not like, no, but Tripp, it's like a nag. It doesn't work. It's going to literally just turn her off instantly. Don't say she looks bored. She doesn't want to hear that. That doesn't really continue conversation to go anywhere. Don't say she looks tired, because basically you're almost saying that she looks ugly. And don't say that she should smile more, because when you say that to her, you're basically telling her to do something and trying to control her in this weird way. So don't say any of that stuff. I put that in one kind of chunk together because those are three common statements that a lot of guys say. They like to use it as openers. They like to use it as something to say maybe when they first meet a woman on a first date. Oh, you look tired. Don't say that. Some of this stuff might sound obvious to you, but trust me, people have made mistakes before, and I want to prevent this for you. Here's a sixth one. Are you PMSing? Do not say, are you PMSing? You're basically saying that the girl's acting like a bitch. Okay, that's how she's going to perceive it. She's going to think that you're just saying that to figure out why she's acting in a way that you don't like. So never ask her that. There's pretty much no exceptions there. Just stay away from anything. Are you PMSing? Are you on your period? None of that stuff. You're just going to come off like a douchebag. Here's the last one, and I'm telling you, last but not least, okay? This is a common one. Don't ever ask a girl, how come you're still single? And I'm guilty of this. I used to do this, not all the time, but I've done it. It's like a weird question. It doesn't go anywhere. There's no reason. No one has a good answer for that, right? You think it's a compliment because you're saying like, wow, you're awesome. Like, how are you still single? But really, it just is a weird thing to say. Why is she still single? Why are you still single? People are just single. There's no answer to that question. It doesn't lend itself to a conversation. And I don't think you should be complimenting anyways, but it's just not the best compliment that you could be saying to someone. So never ask her why she's still single. Doesn't go anywhere. Keep it out of your repertoire altogether. So what are you supposed to do with this now? Take this information, write this down. Hopefully you just took some notes. So you can just reference it every once in a while. So you can make sure that, hey, you're not saying these kinds of things. You're not saying anything that is remotely like any of these things. It's just a good thing to have in your back pocket. Literally, you can put it on your phone and just have it there and just reference it so you have a little bit of a smoother conversation. And of course, if you want to be even more smooth the conversation and know what to say to a girl, check out the Hooked program at getherhooked.com, where you're going to learn everything about what to say to women, more about female psychology, understanding women, and how to, again, just really take all these concepts from A to Z. Hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next video.